Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a place made just for you. We at Weyland-Yutani have done just that. Come explore our luxurious Earth-like biomes using state-of-the-art technology developed by Weyland Corporation. We have created perfection. Breathe air fresher than anything you have ever experienced. Swim in our crystal clear waters and experience what the finest genetic engineering has created by taking a simple stroll through a park. What are you waiting for? Come to Paradisio now and experience life.
Hi everyone, we're back. It's time, once again, for Alien RPG. I am, of course, Rindis, aka Mother, the storyteller for this game, and I have some wonderful, lovely, fabulous, totally not dead people here. You guys aren't dead, right? Just your characters are gonna die. You guys are fine.
Who knows?
Mitch, the drones aren't on their way, right, Mitch? We called that back. Uh-oh. All right. That's a great face, too. Scribbles, be sure to get that one. So we're going to go around and introduce everybody. We'll do the same order that we always have, just counterclockwise around. So, of course, starting with the fabulous ArchivalDustBun.
Yes, I'm Anna, aka ArchivalDustBunny, queer and trans advocate, museum organ, TTRPG streamer, and I play Sarah, the pilot, who Roll20 really does not like. I roll a lot of panic rolls.
Mm-hmm. Somebody has to.
That's what the system's all about. Hi everybody, I'm PaladinHulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday, Little Red Dot, and Polish Scripted. And hi, I play Gerald, your administrator of sorts, and I'm still alive somehow. Hoping to keep it that way. Ready to dive back into the action.
Is it my turn? It's my turn, right?
It's Mitch's turn, yeah.
Yeah! Hi, I'm Mitch. You can find me at Mitchsbustillos on the Twitters. Otherwise, you can find me all other places on the internet, and especially at this Alien game, which you're watching right now.
And last but never least.
I'm Jamie. I'm playing, who am I playing? Rosalinda, who, neither of us are dead. We're all totally alive. Yeah. No reason to say that at all.
All right. Yeah, that's everybody. So just a quick recap. Our player characters realized that they were in a horror RPG and just decided they were done with that. They wanted nothing to do with what was going on. But really, they had been sent out for the colony of Paradisio Prime to go help the science facility not too far into the jungle to recover a couple of specimens for an experiment. They managed to recover one and had incurred a casualty along the way, as well as some mental trauma bestowed onto Rosalinda from almost being devoured by said insects as well, but then actually traumatized by Juniper later on when her failure to make a new friend resulted in the death of her dear friend Fern. You all had gone to try and recover the ordinary sloth that was requested, and Gerald had discovered that they were in fact not ordinary sloths anymore, they had either mutated or were never ordinary sloths, but were in fact a giant sentient sloths that had asked him not to reveal their location, and they promptly decided that they were not going to expose that location and got the hell out of there before anything bad could happen. From there, they went to a lake where they found a alien species that closely resembled a mix between anglerfish and frogs, and they had hypnotic lanterns that almost resulted in the death of the co-pilot before being rescued. And you all decided to get the hell out of there as well, because there
Rescued
were a lot
by
of those.
who exactly? I forget.
A lot of you all were big damn heroes, but Sarah
It was
had
me,
saved
damn
them.
it! I
It
was
was, it was you. Sorry. Gerald was the hero that time. Sorry, I forgot, because the other time you hid in the truck, and so
no one needs to remember that part.
no one needs to remember that. Yeah,
Heroically
No.
hid in the truck.
you're right. It was you, because Sarah tried to fire the gun to startle them and froze up, and it was you that saved them this time. So it was a role reversal. Juniper continues to be Juniper through all of this, where they're helpful with a question mark at the end of it. They had a counseling session with the husband of the dear deceased colonist who had been torn to shreds, the husband and the child, and through counseling, once again with a question mark at the end of it, they were reminded that they were expected to show up for work in the morning after their allotted bereavement time. And so certainly there's no reason for there to be any concern for that person's well-being. Going to just go ahead and throw it out here as well before we get started. We're halfway to the retweet goals. So all of you wonderful people in chat, remember to retweet, tell your friends, make them retweet it. Let's get to that goal so that we can give them a fighting chance for what's going to happen today. Yeah, and speaking of what's going to happen today, we want the Bane. Yeah, exactly. I want the Bane so that I can make Sarah's life even harder.
Like Bane from the DC universe?
Yeah, could you imagine if Bane from the DC universe got infected with a xenomorph? It would just be...
That would be...
I was born with this xenomorph.
I'm here to put an egg inside of you, and then it's going to break your spine. Yeah, it just makes spine bursters instead. Yeah, perfect. 20 retweets is the Bane. Perfect. All right, so we start ourselves on a brand new day. The camera starts with Juniper, because I need to really emphasize that Juniper is responsible for this pet pal monstrosity. The hybrid Shih Tzu screeching cockroach had been delivered to your domicile shortly after, because let's face it, none of us remembered to have it brought beforehand, but Richard had seen it still sitting there in the back of the VTOL and was like, nope, not my problem. And he had it brought to your home, and there's a knock on the door in the early morning, followed by just this constant sound that follows the screeching Shih Tzu hybrid. Oh, Sharpei, thank you. It was a Sharpei.
Yeah.
This wrinkled skin, insectoid-faced, winged monstrosity.
Oh, I don't know what to call it. You will
Sharroach.
go to it, and you know, he's gonna call it Gerald. And bring it in. Come on, Gerald. Oh boy.
Awesome.
So yeah, now I have a Gerald.
Yeah, you have a Gerald now. One of 2 Geralds acquired. An achievement appears over your head.
Yes, knew it. Now's my time to shine. Yeah, with a J. And he'll just sit in front of, you know, he'll be watching everyone via vidcams and stuff, making sure everyone's mental health is good. Yeah. Petting Gerald. Play with his Gerald.
We need play with your Jerry. As your morning starts, you look at maybe a couple of Utani net emails that were sent to you. There's a brief green text that flows over because, of course, this is an old sci-fi movie, so the tech is, of course, forever locked into the technology that existed when the original franchise was made. And as the email starts to formulate itself onto the screen, you see that you have to do a couple psych evaluations today, just some menial tasks that are listed on there, but you do have a follow-up session. You marked it special post-trauma with Rosalinda to make sure that they're okay.
Yes.
after your summary execution of Fern.
Yeah, I will immediately send an email reminding Rosalinda whether or not it's true or not that I expect her in my office in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. So that being said, Rosalinda, your home computer, Wayland Yutani TV messenger pings. It's probably that annoying 10 minutes before your work alarm goes off. You were probably having a relatively nice dream, but this loud alert message starts to blare, and it's not the normal orchestral melody that plays to wake you up.
Is this the next morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I probably hung over.
Mm-hmm. You got dragged back to your apartment. Giselle wouldn't leave you in the closed up bar. Sorry?
Is there a snooze I can hit? It's like a snooze or...
Wayland Yutani regulations does not allow snooze buttons. You are expected to arrive at work on time, or your pay is docked, and an extra 3 weeks is added on to your workload.
Okay, so since I can't ignore it, I'm going to answer it and look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you see that there's this message from Juniper, and it is a good morning. I hope this finds you well. You have an appointment with me in 10 minutes. I hope you'll be there on time. This is a reminder that this is a work session, and if you are not arrived promptly, you will be penalized. Something to that effect in a Juniper fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to be super annoyed, and I try to get coffee before I head over to Juniper.
All right. Juniper, you're surprised to hear that there's a knock at your door. On time.
Oh. Well, whoop-de-doo-dah. He will indicate for his thing to open the door. A little button.
The door slides open, and Rosalinda, you're greeted to the sight of Juniper's interior. It's a much nicer habitation unit than yours. There's a few luxuries afforded to the doctor, being of a higher status and probably a better pay grade than you as a new arrival.
We'll look around nice place. So what do I have to do to get this done with?
Is that really what you want to talk about right now?
Actually, I want to go back to sleep.
That's not really good for you, considering what you've just been through.
Probably not, but I had a lot to drink last night and I'm tired.
It's unfortunate. You should have realized that this was going to happen, right? I mean, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Okay.
Okay,
Is that all?
let's no, there's a lot to cover today. And I hope we have enough time to do it.
Oops, sorry about that.
So, let's just jump into it. How's your relationship with your parents?
Uh, non-existent. You know, you give me a checklist, I could just fill it out for you.
No, that's not adequate. I need to know you. Your parents. What was growing up like for you?
It was growing up in a small town
Mhm,
where everybody knew each other. And the
mhm,
sheriff was named Andy,
mhm.
and he lived with his Aunt B.
Lived with his aunt B. What's your favorite memory from when you were a small child?
That would have to be when my dog pulled me out of the well.
Interesting. And when did your love for plants begin?
Um, about a, about a week before I got here.
So
You can tell she's honest.
this infatuation with plants just began.
Yeah,
Why?
because that was my job, was to work with plants. So I love plants.
Huh. I mean, my job is to work with people, but I hate people. I think hatred offers a more unbiased approach to learning about a particular specimen than
So
love,
why do you work with people? You hate them.
because it pays money. That's why we work, isn't it? No other reason.
Why do you work?
Because we need money to live.
You need
We
money?
live in everyone does. We live in a very capitalistic society, one that has been growing and eroding our humanity since the dawn of time.
So why do you accept that society?
Because it can't change.
Are you sure? What was it like for
Yes.
you growing up?
You want to know my life?
Yeah.
My father didn't enjoy my company. There is a scent that is particular to newborn babies that he found disgusting. One of which didn't invade my mother's mind until he kept speaking about it. So at a young age, I knew that um, I was disgusting to those who brought me into this world. Not that I wanted to be a part of it, but here we are anyway. It's not for us to wonder why, just merely to continue on.
Is that why you wanted to work with people?
No, I wanted to work with people because I had a knack for it and was good at
You
it.
have a knack for it. You're good at it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You say so.
People believe that it's a smiling face that knows best for you. It's not true at all. Sometimes it's the unbiased, hateful scrutiny of an unfeeling, uncaring individual from afar who can give you the best advice and guide you to happiness. I don't care about you. I don't care for your well-being. My whole job in this whole place is to ensure that your happiness is at a level that maintains profitability. And I do that very well.
Certainly. You're doing a great job. I'll answer the survey all positives for you.
There is no survey. That's the best part about this.
Okay, well, that's less work for me.
No, it's more work for you. No. I can see you're agitated. So why don't tomorrow you wake up earlier and we do this in lieu of your breakfast, and then you go to work.
Are you making breakfast?
No, I'm not. You are not going
You're
to be
not.
having breakfast. No.
You said earlier tomorrow.
Earlier tomorrow. Why don't you wake up at 5 a.m.? Nice fresh start to
Is
the
that
day.
actual time?
It is
that
an
actually on
actual
the clock?
time. Yes.
It's not on my
yes,
clock.
It is.
It's
Will
not.
be. You can leave now.
Bye. She's like, we're run.
I pet my little cockroach. Such a nice girl.
It's that awkward size between a hissing cockroach and a Shar-Pei, which probably brings it a little closer to the size of a corgi, or so it's still technically little, but it's so much bigger for a cockroach. But it's large enough to flutter up onto your lap and sit there and extend its wings and hiss at you affectionately while you pet it.
Oh, I think I'm falling in love.
Mhm.
So cute. So I'll pet my roach for a little bit, make sure it knows that the air vents are for use for it to play in and around, and yeah, I'll head over for breakfast.
Okay,
Maybe
so
treat
you
myself
release
to a
you
donut.
release it into the air vents.
Yeah, we'll let it know that it's available for it.
Okay, and so it makes this chittering sound and it disappears into the vents, and you just hear this light clicking of its multi limbs, the patting of its paws, as it were, as it disappears into the darkness.
Good creature.
Rosalinda, now that your time is up and you don't really have a way back to the science lab just yet, where do you go from here? You're still sporting a very, very throbbing hangover, and your session with Juniper definitely didn't help. We could see from your raised agitation levels from the Wayland-Yutani health monitoring systems that your blood pressure is rising significantly. Where do you go now in hopes of alleviating that?
Is there like a place to play cards or something like that?
Oh yeah, the bar.
Yeah.
Giselle's bar is not always open, but she is an early bird, living a roughneck lifestyle. She rises early, goes to bed late, and largely subsists on coffee throughout the day and then alcohol throughout the night. So she's there and ready. And while she doesn't serve food, she can turn the ration blocks into food-like shapes to kind of help make that easy. But it'd be the equivalent of a Friday here. And of course, Wayland-Yutani has 6-day work weeks, so your Friday is closer to Saturday, but you still are expected to do some kind of work today. But for now, there are some people who are idling about doing cards. Most of the workers have already set out to go do their tasks, and there are a number of civilian population here, the families of workers who had been delivered, or if you ask Juniper, useless colonists who aren't actually providing anything.
Okay, I'll have my breakfast and just blow off some steam with cards and talking to people.
Certainly. And you see that there's a few people there doing cards. Mostly they're tired, uh, tired still. Some people who haven't actually shown up for work yet, or as mentioned, a handful of just idle colonists who need to pass some time. But you sit down and have some cards with a couple of them. And let's say you're going to play some cards, so let's do a roll for it. Why don't you give me a manipulation roll? See how well you are at playing cards. Being able to read the other people at the table and work the cards into your favor.
Let me pull this sheet up.
And if you need me to, I can roll it for you.
Yes, roll that, please.
Sure.
Should have,
So
like,
there you are. You have... Sorry?
I should have like a 2 or 3 manipulation.
You have a 1 in manipulation.
A 1.
But you have a 4 empathy, so you had 5 dice rolled and you have 1 hit. So you end up passing the time, and after about an hour, you come out on top. You've managed to gamble some of these food rations away from these colonists. So you have a little more food, and maybe they've also thrown in a couple credits. So you make probably about $20 worth of Weyland-Yutani bucks in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. After that, I probably have my laptop stuffed in a pocket or a bag or something, and I'll find a computer and input this.
Okay, and you're gonna get to doing some work here. Cool. Next, we see Gerald waking up. The alarm goes off, and you and your wife rise mostly together. She's probably up just a couple minutes early. Her day starts with work calls, and as she's going about getting herself ready, she's still on the phone. What does your morning routine look like?
Light exercise. That's how we start the day, because that's how you stay in shape.
Yeah, exactly.
So while she's doing work, he's doing yoga.
Mm-hmm. And somewhere, surprisingly, in all of this time, she manages to get breakfast ready for the two of you. Even though she's a working wife, she sometimes can surprise you, because usually you're left to your own devices. But these moments between disappearing to go handle colony stuff, she can slip something in. And today it's real eggs and imitation meat shaped into bacon, but the eggs were real and they were imported in. And so there's a chance for the two of you to sit and have breakfast. And she says, all right, I have 7 minutes before my next call. How are you doing today, hon?
Well, I really needed that night's sleep. You know, yesterday was quite stressful, but you know, you made breakfast, and that's very impressive. You know, I'm very grateful for that. You know, never ceases to amaze me how your upbringing keeps coming in handy. You know, I would have been completely lost. So I appreciate the gesture.
You give me far too much credit. It's just eggs, dear. And she does have an appreciative smile, though, despite that. And she says, Gerald, there's something important that I do need to discuss with you about yesterday.
Oh, have we gotten more information about the murder? I'll like pull up my thing to see if there's like updates that I've missed.
Yeah. And she reaches out and she puts a hand over your data pad and sets it back down on the table. This is off the record.
Oh. Right.
We have reason to believe that somebody within the colony is responsible for this. I know that everybody is going to say that it was pirates. We have had reports of pirates being on the outskirts of the colony, but we are concerned that this was an inside job.
Yes, no, I thought the same. That's what I said to the marshal. I said there's probably one of the other scientists who have more of a scrupulous look on things.
Do you think one of the scientists is more capable than any of the others? There's that new girl you brought back, Rosalinda.
Well, she was with us when the murder happened, so that seems incredibly unlikely, unless she had some sort of device to let her be in two places at once. And considering that she, she's a plant scientist, that seems unlikely.
Do you have any reason to suspect her being capable of doing such a thing?
Not really. I mean, all she does is hug that plant until Juniper tosses it overboard.
And you see her kind of think for a moment. Well, that would give reason to murder Juniper, not so much the chief scientist.
Yeah, exactly. Although, he did seem like an odd fellow, so from what people have been saying, there's plenty of reasons to kill that person.
Yes, quite. Did you notice anything else strange at the science facility?
Other than that sex doll thing I told you about, no.
I'm going to be frank with you, Gerald. It was not a sex doll.
Yes, that has become apparent that he was lugging corpses around. Ugh.
Yes, he was doing important work for the company. Sacrifices needed to be made.
That he's doing that himself instead of having one of the others carry the dead bodies. But still, there's so few of us out here, and it's going to be ages before more people show up.
That's true. For now, if anybody else starts poking their nose into what happened to the chief scientist, I want you to let me know and be sure to discourage any further snooping about what happened.
Well,
the company has his records sealed, and we don't want it getting out what he was involved in, especially if they find out that people's lives were being utilized for his experiments.
Yes. I'm sure the Marshal has it handled. Seems like a capable fellow.
Yes, the Marshal understands where his place is in the investigation as well.
Yes. We've got to get back to work, business as usual. Just because someone dies doesn't mean we all stop working suddenly.
Absolutely. And for now, the work is going to be passed over to Vanderstoop anyways. It seems more their capability being slightly career adjacent to.
Yes, well, I hope whatever
Svensson's abilities.
I hope whatever Svensson's did to deserve getting murdered, that Vanderstoop takes a different approach.
Time will tell. The company has deadlines that still need to be met.
Yes. Let's hope it's not one of those serial killers you hear about. They're terribly interesting to listen to when, on the podcasts and whatnot, but very inconvenient. Out here with so few people to be killing head scientists. I mean, come on. Those are the most valuable.
It's true. It's going to take years and a lot of credits to replace what was lost.
Oh well. You've got an exciting day ahead of you, Heidi.
I do, and I have about 45 seconds left before I have to leave. And so she leans in, she gives you an affectionate kiss, and she says, just try to keep things under wraps for now.
Oh, no worries. I'm sure everyone will be too busy with work to do anything else.
Very good. I'll see you tonight then.
Let's have a wonderful day.
And just as quickly, she taps the little Bluetooth in her ear, and she's back on a call, and she walks off having a conversation with some distant voice.
I enjoy my breakfast, which is a rare thing for her to make the breakfast, because we have servants for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice personal touch.
Mm-hmm. And with that, you kind of wrap up your morning routine and head out. Lastly, we see Sarah's morning. Sarah's start of the morning is probably a little more eventful than the others. She had a very lucky night where, having bonded with the security officer, Isa, she awakened to see that Isa is already up and out of bed, getting their uniform together. And when they notice you, they look over and they say, "Oh, good morning."
Good morning.
I hope you don't mind that I'm going to be heading out rather immediately. I should have, and she kind of looks down at her watch and she says, I should have reported in about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I should go too. They're gonna want me to fly something or drive something, probably somewhere dangerous again. Yeah. So
Hopefully
right.
not too dangerous.
Hopefully not. I could do without going back into the jungle for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, did you end up back at your living quarters, or did you let Isa take you home?
I think we'd said at the end of last episode I was at Isa's place.
Okay. And so with that, then Isa continues to get ready, and they kind of like slap on their little utility belt, and they say, I don't mean to cut out rather quickly, but just make yourself at home for as long as you need, and just make sure the door is locked once you head out.
Thank you. I'll definitely make sure it's locked.
She just kind of smiles and gives a little shy wave, and then heads out the door. Isa's apartment is very Spartan in its decorations. There was a bed that was a little too small for the both of you, but you made do. There's a footlocker for her gear, the standard issue desk, and a little monitor for any correspondence or entertainment watching. And there's a back room for a bathroom and shower. But outside of that, there isn't really much.
Yeah, since I'm probably running a bit late, I'll go ahead and do my morning workout just quickly here, and use her shower, and then report into whatever it is I need to do, because I doubt I have time to go all the way back to my place.
Yeah. And so as you come out of the shower, you make a nose roll for me.
Like
We'll let
which
fate
roll?
decide. Sorry, I probably said the wrong thing. Observation roll. Too many games.
Hey, I got something.
Hey, you did, and you got a second one. So let's see what comes with getting an additional hit. Observation. For the extra stunts, you can ask some additional questions. Is it coming for me? Are there more of them close by? How do I get in, past, away? Wow, these are oddly specific.
Yeah.
Not overly helpful for for most situations, but amusing nonetheless. As you get out of the shower and kind of wrap the towel around yourself to start drying off, and you do your bathroom routine, brushing your teeth, fixing your hair and stuff, you hear the strange clicking, padding sound of something moving through the vent above you. And of course, in all horror fashion, the vent is strategically placed behind you where you would be facing the mirror. So you have your back to the vent, but you can see the vent from the mirror. And there is something very close to the vent grate where you feel like there are eyes on you.
Oh. Yeah. I'll ask my follow-up question with a stunt point. Is it coming for me? Because it actually works. Is it coming for me?
It's like, I really wish it had been something dangerous, but when you kind of turn and you look and you try and get a better look at what might be in there, you end up seeing that a pair of antennae poke out of the grates where the little ventilation slits are, and then there's this low hissing sound that emanates from it. It's a familiar hissing sound, and then there's just a little like dog-like whimper that follows it.
Like, does it seem like it wants to be let out, or is it like just passing through? Do I get a sense of that?
It seems like it recognizes you, and in that dog fashion of, it's my friend, it's making that noise of like, I can't reach you and I am sad.
I am gonna regret this. How is the vent attached to the wall?
Two little screwdriver bolts lock it into place.
Okay, so I can't get that. I will, if I can reach it, I'll hold my hand up to the vent like you do with a dog, like the back of your hand towards them.
Yeah, there's this sniffing sound for a moment, and then you feel like the little cockroachy mouth where it kind of click, click, and it like lightly nibbles at the back of your hand and leaves this long, drooly slobber on your finger.
He may grow on me. Yeah, I can't get him out, so I'll let him smell me, and then I guess I'll continue doing what I was doing.
Yeah, and there's a couple more moments of it like scratching at the grate, wanting to get out, but once it sees that you've left, you hear the reluctant padding away of it trying to leave through the vents again, and then you don't hear any more of it.
I guess it is kind of cute.
In a weird sort of way.
Yeah, I'll finish getting ready. I'll check the news headlines, see if there's anything that I should be aware of before heading out.
It's a very quiet morning on the little Wayland-Yutani news feed. Local information says it's little Johnny's birthday. He turns 13 today. An extra red ration block has been allocated to him in celebration. Everyone wish him a happy 13th birthday if you see him. And then it also briefly talks about a few more innocuous things. There's a bingo tournament going on at the bar later tonight, and there's no mention of the murder.
Interesting.
Make another observation roll for me. Okay, cool. As you're watching it kind of scroll through while getting ready, one final thing does catch your eye, more of just a, oh, neat, I recognize that. But you see that there is a announcement to invite more people to Joseph Bosco's religious movement. They're having a meeting this afternoon, and they are inviting more colonists to attend and hear the good word.
That stuff like that always puts me on edge, but I mean, they were helpful. So
They were really
takes
helpful.
note of it, and yeah, she just kind of takes note of it and realizes she needs to get breakfast. She doesn't want to eat any of Iza's food, so yeah. So I'll head for the mess hall, I guess.
Alrighty. And you head to the mess hall, you get your allocated food rations, and this is probably where everybody starts to kind of come together. Gerald, you have been given a number of tasks to accomplish today, or that you could organize folks into accomplishing today, and one of which is to serve as a greeting liaison to a priority visitor that is arriving to the colony later today. And then there is also a need to deliver some of the security forces to an undisclosed location further into the jungle.
I have to go into the jungle again?
There is a need for a group to take the security force into the jungle. You don't necessarily have to go, but we have a pilot who is capable of flying.
Oh, yeah, clearly she has to do that.
She has to go.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stand to go into the jungle again, especially with the protection of a large number of the security forces.
I
It'd
don't
be
know,
fine.
that
It's the
bingo
worst that could
tournament
happen.
sounds awful fun. And who else is going to read out all the numbers?
Exactly.
That
but
sounds like a
that's
job
in the
for
evening.
Gerald.
That's in the
Yeah,
evening.
no,
You got a lot of
that's
time to
fine.
kill.
I'll also go. That's fine. I don't have a lot of stuff to do during the day. I have one thing that I want to do. I want to go find Izo.
Mhm.
Because I've just gotten an alarming pop-up that she used a lot of water this morning, and that's just not good. So, it's a reminder
Isa was
that,
using yeah. That's going to be a fun conversation. But hey, Isa is part of the security force, so there's a very good chance you could run into them.
Oh, I'll do it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Mm-hmm. That's a great time
We'll
for that
also
to
make sure
happen.
Rosalinda gets shuttled back because she's not useful while she's here.
That's
And
true.
while I'm sure she deserves a vacation, no one gets any. So.
Speaking of which, there is shortly after that consideration, there is another. You put in the request to have her shuttled back so that you can assign that task to Sarah and that she's properly paid for it. So Sarah, you end up seeing that there are 2 requests for your capabilities, one to fly the security force out and one to bring Rosalinda back to the science complex. Rosalinda, you see a notification that you are being sent back to the security complex. What is important to note is that the delivery to the security complex comes after the delivery for the security force. Juniper, you see all of this coming in on your feed, and you have the option to tie yourself into any of these missions if you so desire, because there's always a need for a doctor.
Oh, I want to be with Gerald.
Yeah. And so
The dog, right? Gotta go find the little guy.
Gotta go find the dog.
Gerald with a G.
Dang
I
it.
like me some Gerald. I think he and I are gonna be good friends.
Yeah, and when you see that Gerald has accepted a couple of these work tasks, it's just a quick couple of selections before you accept, that you're also going to be assigned onto these missions. And Gerald, you see Juniper's name pop up onto all of the missions that you've assigned yourself to.
I'm assuming that has to go to the facility where someone was murdered to do grief counseling.
Exactly.
That makes sense to me. That's the
Yes,
job.
that.
And also,
Checks
who
out.
doesn't want to go to bingo? I'm assuming everyone has signed up for that.
Listen, the food ration blocks that are allocated to those, you don't want to lose that.
That's the good stuff.
Dope as hell.
Yeah. And so the flight is scheduled to take off in the next hour. And so as you all gather in the hangar, you see that the security force is about 5 personnel. The chief security officer is there. Isa is there. You have 2 or 3 more as well that haven't been named yet, but they are 2 male officers and an additional female officer, and they are actually loading up with lethal ordnance. They don't have their stun batons with them, and they are in heavier combat gear.
I see you all, dressed to impress. Well done. I didn't think you'd be so quick to go out into the jungle and take care of all that mess that we found yesterday, but I'm very impressed.
There's a hand that touches your shoulder, Gerald. It's a large and imposing hand. From within the building, you feel the breeze blow from nowhere, and Marshal Bravestar is behind you, and he says, "We're actually going out into the jungle to investigate the reports of pirates."
Oh yes, well you'll see the danger. So be careful. There's a lot of weird creatures in there.
Well,
Don't want to lose any other more valuable people.
we're hoping that these pirates will be amicable in negotiating leaving the colony area instead of having to resort to violence. But then
I trust you to handle that.
He taps a large revolver at his side. But if it comes to that, we'll do what needs to be done to ensure Paradisio is protected. Well, I usually go for the knee so that we can bring him in alive. But if it comes to that,
so merciful.
Well,
do we
he'll
have
never
a
walk
jail
again
on the premises? I don't think I've been to the jail.
I haven't had to take you to the drunk tank, Gerald. There's no reason for you to know that there was one.
Oh,
Will
there
you
is
be
one.
torturing
Where is it?
Under our office.
Ah, yes, of course. That would make sense.
I'm sorry, Juniper. You were trying to say something.
I was curious. Do you employ torture?
No. Why would we do such a thing?
Double checking. I know some backwaters individuals believe that torture is the way to go, but it's not. Much prefer
It's a
death.
different department is all.
Yeah.
Oh, there is
the
a-
law, then we have a torture department that we can torture it.
Wayland
It's so
Yutani.
barbaric.
Wayland Yutani employs enough torturers and saboteurs. Marshals don't need to get their hands dirty with such a thing.
In a paper I wrote, I called out against the actions of Wayland concerning the acts of torture. It's just doesn't work. It didn't before and it doesn't now. But
People do all sorts of useless jobs. It's important to keep busy. That's all. What could
Richard
be
leans
worse than
into-
being unemployed?
Richard leans into Sarah and says, if they really wanted to torture any pirates, they would just send them to a therapy session with Juniper. He gives her a nudge.
Absolutely.
Oh!
The wound.
I didn't do anything.
I see this as a horror game. Ah,
I know.
There's been a murder.
What did I ever do?
Yeah. But as everybody gathers, Rosalinda, you're there as well. I imagine you've gathered up what supplies you had brought with you, um, minus a fern, of course. But you see that everybody else from the day prior is also here alongside this large contingent of security personnel, and Richard kind of notices as well, and he says, "Hey, Rosie, come on over here."
Hi. Is there a way I could have got a plant, another replacement plant?
He kind of looks to Sarah. He's like, I don't think we have any like succulents or anything. They don't on the ship. He says, "Hey, Jerry,
What?
the colony. Do they have a gift shop?"
Gift shop? No.
No.
Gifts you make yourself. That's the
Rosie wanted to requisition a new plane.
A new plant? Why? I mean, there's an entire jungle full of the things. Oh,
He says you got a whole jungle full of planes you could acquire.
Okay, I'll just grab one from there. Thank you.
Are you looking for a specific kind of plant? Maybe a nice rose or something?
I just need a comfort plant.
A comfort plant. What would that be? Oh, cannabis. Oh, we've got plenty of that. Yes.
Yeah, I'll take.
You did see the little garden we started. It's looking very, very nice. And the cannabis section is quite substantial.
Yeah, Wayland Yutani definitely has a couple of that to keep everybody calm and easy working.
The gardening keeps you sane.
Do I have permission to get one?
I mean, you can start a garden, of course. Like, seeds are everywhere.
Okay, well, she's gonna like grab a couple of plants.
And so everybody watches Rosalinda just run out of the hangar and is like, "I'll be just 5 minutes." And oh, Gerald's gonna grab her.
Yeah, that's not how we do things. We've got schedules to keep.
No plans for you.
Should have been quicker about that.
Okay.
Denied.
Terribly sorry, but the plane's all ready, so we've got to go. Perhaps next time.
She's just gonna nod and go on a plane. Sadly.
All right, and with that, Gerald, you were looking for one of the security officers in particular, as everybody's starting to load up their supplies, their little ammo crates and things like that. You do see that the one you have on your profile as security officer, Isa, has finished packing their things and is just kind of idling around now near the main hangar door.
Yeah, I'll take her away from, like, a few steps away from the rest of her team, because I don't want to embarrass her, Maybe like Sarah will be close, because I don't mind.
You walk towards the front of the ship.
Front.
And expecting to be out of earshot of everyone, but it's conveniently like directly underneath where Sarah is sitting doing the pre-flight checks.
Officer Izo, is it?
Isa, sir, with an A.
Oh, well, you should really think about changing that, but it's none of my business.
There is a genuine laugh at that.
Yeah, I got a little pop-up this morning in my notifications. I'll just share that between you and I, and I'll open my pad and I'll show that. Look, it says that you've used quite a bit of water. I don't know if you were aware that was being monitored, but might want to tone that down a bit. These
There's
things
there's
show
a
up.
there's a moment where she kind of goes a little red in the cheeks, and she says, "Oh yes, it looks like I doubled my water allotment for the day. I'm
Yes,
very
that's-
sorry about that, Gerald. I must have not been paying attention to." No, I'm gonna say it. She says, I must not have been paying attention to just how wet things were getting for me.
Yes. It's a shame, really, because like a 5% increase we could just forgive, but this is quite a bit. Are you? You're not under any psychological stress,
No, not psychological stress. No.
Because we do have Juniper over there if you need to talk.
Between you and I feel like if I needed stress relief or any sort of aftercare from my job, I don't feel that Juniper is quite equipped for what I need.
I don't know. They've got all the qualifications. See, I'll pull up Juniper's little thing to show all the the credentials. There you go. Perfectly qualified.
Oh, of course, I'm not disparaging their qualifications. More that I had my own session last night, and I must have just gotten a little carried away today. I apologize for that.
Oh, I mean, just don't let it happen again, I would say. The next
course.
chat might
That's
not
why
be
Gerald-
friendly between you and I.
Of course, Gerald. It won't happen again, I promise.
All right, good. Now, you be careful out there in the jungle today, because there's lots of danger. So
Certainly.
just
was a
stand
very-
behind
very
someone else.
Very stern talking to, and I appreciate it. You've got to keep us all on the level.
We are on an alien world, after all. There's not water around every corner.
Well, I mean, technically it's a rainforest, so water is not one of our real problems.
But we need to purify it first and stick in some fluoride. But I guess there is plenty of raw water. If you're into that sort of thing.
I do prefer my fluoride. They say it mutates the alien life forms.
Does it?
Yes, there was an old research paper about how in earth water, when you added the fluoride, it would mutate the frogs.
Huh. I'll have to look into that. Sounds fascinating. Always like frogs.
It was certainly a read.
Well, I should get back to it. Oh,
Yeah, and should
before I
I?
go, do you have any idea where I might get a pistol of my own? The dangers we ran into yesterday made me feel quite unprepared for life on this colony. Perhaps I should look into getting some defense for myself.
There's a moment where she thinks about it, and she says, Gerald, why don't you take this one? And she reaches down to her own sidearm and hands you a pistol, and she says, it'll just be
you're going into the jungle today. That's incredibly dangerous. Perhaps when you
nonsense. I could requisition another. Your safety is important as well, and we won't always be here to protect you, after all.
get back, if you're sure.
Quite.
All right. And I'll like gently put that into my bag because I have no idea how to use a gun.
Yeah, and so she hands you.
If anything, I've just tripled my chances of dying.
Yeah, at least you didn't tuck it into your waistline.
Yeah.
You're given a M4A3 service pistol.
Cool stuff.
And, stuff. The statistics for it are on page 119. It's just the basic handgun there. But now you have a gun.
And I'm not gonna write her up for losing her gun.
Yeah, because
This is just between us.
Also a note, because it was mentioned, Marshal Bravestar has the .357 Magnum revolver there, that big boy on the picture too. Yep.
Damage
Big
2.
boy.
Bang.
Yeah, and he kneecaps people with that, so just let that sink in.
That kneecap's gone.
Anywho,
Since I could,
yeah,
since
you
I
could hear
could
all of that.
overhear that, yeah. Face
Oh, yeah,
also
you
a little
heard
red.
everything.
I'm gonna lean over where just Isa can see me and just mouth sorry.
There's a moment where the two of you catch eyes, and she just gives you a wink and walks off. But Sarah, you now are aware that Gerald also has a gun, just in case.
Knowing that all of our chances of dying just went up, I will continue getting the plane ready.
There are worse people who could have a gun in this crew.
Yes, not many, but yes.
Not me. And so with that, everybody loads up into, once again, you're in the VTOL. And once you're there, Marshal Bravestar walks into the like separated cockpit from the passenger cargo area, and he gives you coordinates to fly towards, and he says, "This is our LZ."
All right, we'll have you there soon. Is there anything we should expect?
Pirates, but hopefully they won't be hostile.
Okay. Make sure everyone's strapped in just in case.
And he nods and kind of gives you and Richard a pat on the shoulder, and he says, "Just fly straight and fly true, but be sure to, turn or pivot when needed." It's more of a saying than an actual direction.
Got it. Yeah. I get where you're going with it.
And he just kind of nods, man of few words, and heads out. When he walks into the back, he says, "We're heading into hostile territory. Everybody expect the worst, prepare for the best. Buckle up."
I'm going to make sure my harness is nice and tight.
Is everybody buckled in? Anybody living dangerously?
No, I'm buckled in.
All right.
It's nice and tight.
Once
Give me a minute,
once everybody's situated, Rosalinda probably has first dibs on the seats, since Gerald had taken that time to discuss with everything, and a couple of the security officers luckily had sat between her and Juniper so that there's no awkward conversation there. But Gerald finds that the last seat available is beside the good Dr. Juniper.
So,
Hello, Doctor. You feeling all right today?
feeling splendidly. Want you to know I named the cockroach's moniker Gerald with a J in remembrance of you.
Oh, that's so such an honor.
Remembrance.
I'm blown away. To do such. Oh, well, so kind.
There's just something about you. I haven't quite figured out if I'm sexually attracted to you or just platonically seeking friendship with you, but I'm gonna look
That's
over my
always such
feelings.
a question, isn't it?
It is.
What is our sexuality? It's a lifelong quest. So who's looking after the little tyke while you're on this mission?
I let him into the vents. Just told him to come back when it's all said and done. To leave a mess.
He's got a job of clearing out all the vermin in there already. I'm very proud of little Gerald.
Exactly. Me too. I think he's going to do great things for this whole colony.
Yep. I wonder how old creatures like him get. I don't want to get too attached if it's only going to be around for a handful of days.
I don't know. There's some creatures on Earth that were immortal. I wish the same thing
Were
for
they?
a little cockroach friend. Yes, there's a couple of species that were discovered to just never die. Not by aging or disease. Fascinating thing. I mean, once you conquer disease, conquer death.
I think us humans will have a thing or two to say about other creatures being immortal. That's not the way. I'm sure we'll add it to the extinct species list at some point.
This is true.
That's
Humanity
planet,
does have a way of destroying everything it loves. Speaking of, how are you and your wife?
Oh, very well. Yes, she made breakfast for me this morning. It's quite a treat. Can you imagine? You know, a woman of her caliber making me breakfast.
I can't.
That's,
if you don't mind, I'd like you to invite me over for breakfast sometime. I would like to be a part of that one day.
Well, I don't know if she'd be willing to make breakfast for 2 people. I mean, 3. You know, it's not everyday occurrence. Should I know?
Do you think she likes me?
We should have checked. I mean, why wouldn't she, really?
I feel like to most people I can be off-putting. She did, but really? I'm highly qualified, and it's a good thing for most people to hire me.
Yes, I was just telling either about your qualifications.
Yeah.
So, I'll be sure to run it by the wife.
Thank you, Gerald.
Oh, absolutely no problem. So you're going to talk to all the scientists today to look into the murder? Or?
Yeah, I think more so this is a good time to acclimate ourselves with death on a foreign world. What it'll be like and how it'll feel for each one of us.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to caution you against, doing any actual investigating, because that's the marshal's job. So you wouldn't get
of course
paid.
Not. I have no desire to investigate. No, it's not my business.
That will speak nothing more about it. All right.
All right. Did anybody else want to talk to anybody in the ship before we take off proper? Now's the chance.
Lock and load.
Lock and load. All right. So the VTOL lifts up, and Sarah, please give us a roll to see how well your piloting goes.
It goes perfect. Yay.
It does go perfect. All right. Look, it's a brand new day, and for once we don't have to push. So you lock in the coordinates, and the VTOL lifts off from the colony, and you head into the jungle, flying in a northward direction, not in the western direction that the science facility had been in, but heading north a good ways into the jungle. And as you guys are flying, you can see out of a couple of the viewports that it is just deep, lush jungle for miles in every direction. There's a few spots where you can see that rivers run through them, or the occasional mountaintop in the far distance, but largely the colony had been situated in this valley where you didn't have to deal with too many mountains or anything to put a shadow over the beauty of this colony. And as you're flying and you're getting closer to this landing zone spot that was designated for where you would be able to start finding the pirates, there is a sudden alert that appears on your ship's comms. There is something fast approaching the ship, and it's an alarm that there is a target lock on the VTOL, and a rocket is on its way towards the ship. You will have to make evasive maneuvers.
Cool. Yeah, so I am going to flip the thing to do the comms over into the back, and just say brace for impact, and yeah.
Brace for what?
Brace for what? Piloting.
As Gerald
piloting
says
check
that, we
as
go to the
Gerald goes,
side.
the what?
Yeah.
Yep.
I spill my tea over whoever's in front of me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, falling in sync with Richard. We'll take evasive maneuvers. Nervous about rolling this.
I believe in you.
This
That's
is
where's that
this
gonna
is your
happen?
thing. Holy shit. Yes. It's your time to shine.
I just needed stress. That's what I needed.
Yeah. So with piloting, your extras are showing off or banking for later skill rolls, which I highly recommend. Given
As much
given
as I
what's
want to show
happening
off.
now.
Yeah, as much as I want to
Just
show
show
off.
off.
I think this-
You could spare one of your three
Do a
to
barrel
show off
roll.
for sure.
We both know I really can't, because roll 20 is going to take away what it is given.
You say that, but you've had successes on all of your rolls since we started streaming.
Yeah, I'm going to bank those. I'm being very conservative
alright.
with my
Yeah.
evasive maneuvers.
And so there's time to Gerald to say brace for what, and you take a hard turn to avoid this missile. And it's one of those things where if the camera was watching from the outside, the maneuver was held until the very last second, and then it goes sailing past on the starboard side, and it continues past you, and you see it leave the radar before it tries to turn around and recorrect. And it's definitely following you, but now there's a second one that appears fired from another location down on the ground. And Richard, he says, it looks like these pirates didn't want to talk after all. And he flips a button, and as you guys are flying and you make a pass over this location where a shot had been fired, he's going to make a roll to fire the armaments on this VTOL, which is a front-mounted minigun. And let me find the NPC stats that I lost flipping through all this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to see if he can kind of clear the area here for you. Pilot. Medical doctor, mining, salvage, pilot. There we go. So NPC stats has a range combat of 3. That's it. All right, here we go.
That's it. That's how much I have.
All right. 3. Hey, he's got a success. Yeah, and so everybody on the VTOL hears just a sudden sound as this front-mounted machine gun starts to fire into the tree line. As you make another pass, you do a quick clearing of the area, and Bravestar pops onto like a little ear-mounted radio, and he says, "I take it they did not want to talk to us peacefully."
Not at all. They do not seem to be in the mood to talk.
Clear a landing zone. We'll handle the rest.
Understood. Our situation with the 2 missiles in the air.
The second missile is on its way, so I'm going to need another roll from you. and I will need 2 successes. So if you want to roll it, see where we're at, and then if you need to spend any of those banked, we'll go from there.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
I will. I'll spend those 3.
Spend those 3.
I'm gonna push it. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, and with the push, and I'll say that this is a show off so that we can deal with the missiles all at once. Sarah is really showing off today with their piloting skills, and as the 2 missiles are approaching from exactly your girl's on board with the missiles approaching from opposite ends. Once again, you wait until the very last second to peel away so they don't have time to course correct, and the 2 missiles end up colliding together as you push up and away, clearing the danger of the missiles. And Richard just continues to hold down the trigger for the machine gun, and he has effectively done some military lumberjacking as he's cleared just this section of tree line, and there are no rockets being shot up from the area now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good to touch down.
Taking us in now.
Yeah.
As we're coming in, do I get the feeling that we are going to be like under fire? Like, do I need to touch down, let them off, and take off, or do I feel like Richard has done a pretty good job of clearing this?
Richard seems very confident that he has driven off any of the problems thus far.
Okay.
And
I don't trust
he
Richard's assessment.
He says,
I trust Richard.
"Look," he's like, "Look, I even made us an LZ," and there's just a nice little clearing of down trees. And he says, "I think that's a good spot."
I think so too. Thank you for that.
And as the VTOL hovers in low, the green light on the back hatch goes, and it lowers the ramp just enough where you don't have to necessarily touch down completely, but you can hover there for them to disembark. And Bravestar and the 5 security officers get up, and they quickly start to shuffle out. And he says, "I will keep in radio touch if we need any assistance, but hopefully you will not be too far to get us." And he looks at Gerald in particular when he's saying that, because Gerald is the one in charge.
Good luck.
Be well and stay safe. And I'm gonna make another roll here because I do believe I got some people I can use.
And do I get the sense that my mission is now to take Rosalinda, or am I supposed to circle until we pick
You
them
were
back up?
supposed to. You were going to take Rosalinda back, and
Okay.
you don't need to necessarily circle back because they're just going to be in the jungle dealing with this. However, because I needed to make a roll. As you're hovering there, the LZ had been cleared, but apparently Gerald's doubt of Richard's ability to fully clear the LZ might have been true, as a new rocket fires from a different direction of the tree line that had
While
been
we're
cleared.
on the ground?
Yep. And it strikes.
We're hovering.
Yeah, you're hovering. And so it strikes one of the propellers, and it does send you into just an emergency alert, and you're going to need to make a landing to close in this like hovering distance. It's not a hard landing, but it is one that's going to put the VTOL down.
How many
Yeah,
of those things do they have?
Do I have to roll
3.
for that?
Yeah, give me a quick piloting roll just to see if everyone gets shook up a little bit.
Shook up. Mhm.
I yell over the comms, hang on!
Just want to push.
How dangerous does this landing look?
You're
Like, are people gonna get bruised up, or are we gonna crash and burn?
You're not going to crash and burn, but it will be a how damaged is the VTOL.
I'll push
Are
it.
you able to set it down, or is it going to come down a little hard and jostle everyone?
Yeah, I'll push it.
Okay. There you go. Okay, you're able to, with the emergency alert going off that you've taken a hit and that one of the engines is basically burning out. Richard quickly goes into the defensive side of keeping the ship aloft, and that engine is cut so it doesn't continue to burn, and you're able to guide it down with a rather rough jostle, and it hits with a thud and everybody rattles, and there is sound of gunfire outside coming from 2 directions from within the tree line, and the security force moving to get cover. There is a constant plinking sound of arms fire hitting the side of the ship, but nothing has broken through the hull or the viewports yet.
Yay.
Are we facing in a way that's advantageous for the guns on the VTOL?
You are not. Actually, hold on. You want to spend that banked one to turn it so that is the case?
Yes, I do.
All right. Yeah.
And show off.
Yep. Well, that's her one to turn it that way. Yeah, so the guns are pointed into the tree line where this fire is coming from, and Richard says, light them up. I'm gonna let you shoot it this time.
My pleasure. Yeah, I'll do it. You want me to make a roll?
Yep, range combat, please. And I was going to throw in a bonus, but she already got it. And so the sound of the minigun firing up again is probably very satisfying as it just starts to do just a through the tree line again, and you're watching figures move and try and take cover as just these large ancient trees are toppling over as you're sawing through them with this spray of hot lead, sawing both bodies and tree trunks, and the wildlife is scattering into the air, angry birds at losing their homes, and before long there is just smoke and a little bit of fire rising from the area where you had emptied the rounds into the area.
That's all she's
Brave
got.
Star, yeah. Brave Star calms in again. He says, "Quite the welcoming party. How is the ship?"
Not great. We're going to be grounded for at least a bit.
Those of you who can fix the ship should stay behind and do so. I can assign a couple of the security to keep an eye on things, but we still need to deal with this problem.
Yes, please, go kill all the pirates. Go.
Oh.
Juniper, did you have something?
I was go do it. Like, why are you asking us?
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. All right. Rosalinda, any curiosity to go see pirates?
Slight,
should
but I'm
definitely go.
also a scientist, so I need to. I'm not trained in
The science of piracy. It'll be fine.
It's a good
Alright.
sociology venture.
Yeah. So
You go, You like people, or you hate people.
Yeah.
Pirates aren't really people.
Exactly. Oh man.
Bless you.
Bless you.
It's like a kid.
Rosalinda's gonna drop all of her stuff and like take her time picking it up.
All right. So with nobody wanting to go out with the security force to see what the deal with these pirates are, who is capable of fixing this ship?
Would that be along the lines of Comtech or?
It would
It's
be
heavy machinery, I imagine.
Yeah,
What's heavier than a plane?
it is heavy
I
machinery.
was asking
planes.
because as a pilot, Comtech's one of my big skills, and I get a diagnostic device and all that to go with it that gives me Comtech bonus. So I would know if at least part of fixing it would be that, or.
Yeah, Comtech is programming androids, mainframes, and other types of advanced technology that require specialist knowledge.
Okay, so it's more the computer system.
Well, actually, yeah, it's the software side. Program, repair, decrypt, or otherwise manipulate any type of computer or communications technology.
Mhm.
Whereas heavy machinery, which is based on strength, which I'm pretty sure nobody has, is the roughneck, frontier, this role when you attempt to use repair, jury rig, or break any kind of heavy machinery. Yeah. All right. You guys should have brought the bartender with you, Giselle. She's a roughneck.
And she could serve us drinks.
That's true. So does anybody have heavy machinery?
Nope. Excellent. I do have the experience to just magically learn it.
I took a class at the community
that's
college.
not
Well,
Was
I'm
it
trying
so
to
hard?
gauging everybody's relative strength roll. Rosalinda has a 3. Rosalinda's pretty beefy looking at her strength score. And Jerry. Well, Jerry's just as beefy. The 3. Beefy. All right. So I feel like I could give you guys a chance to roll it, or I could just say that Jerry or Richard, who has shown that he has some mechanical skill, just magically has heavy machinery now. Otherwise, you guys are stuck. Yeah, magic.
Make it magic.
So I'll replace his contact with heavy machinery, which strangely is only a 2. Is that not counting their? Is that not counting their base score? Because it just seems really low for these NPC dice.
Because when you did ranged combat earlier, it should have been more than 3.
Okay, because it doesn't give them. It doesn't. Here we go. Their base stats are hidden above it. I see it now. Okay. So I'm going to replace his Comtech with heavy machinery then. So he has 5 dice. Good thing he hit then, right? It would have been a real shame if he hadn't.
Yeesh.
Well, that's a decent.
Wow, go Jerry.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. It wasn't just for show. What stunts does he get with that? Draw machine bends to your will. Nice. +1 modification for later skills. You got this. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same challenge in the future. You do it quickly in half the time it would normally take. You break it permanently. You act quietly or you show off. So he's going to slap some duct tape on it and get it done in half the time. And then I'm going to have him bank 2 just in case. So he kind of looks and he's like, well, okay, I guess I'll go out there and see what I can do to get it fixed up. Bravestar
I'll go with
is
him.
able to.
I'm gonna use my observation to, cover him.
You're gonna put the gun to use. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the gun out of the bag because this does seem like the kind of situation, and just look to see if no one's gonna bother him.
Yeah, and so with it, he helps you up onto the upper side because the way the VTOL is set up is the little propeller wings are situated towards the top, and so you got to do a little bit of climbing to get there. And he walks across the arm, and he just says, "Okay, you go keep my back covered while I'm working on this." He
Cling
gives
to
you
the plane. I'm just flat on the plane. Just like.
He gives you a very nervous thumbs up, and he just says, "Just remember not to shoot me with that thing, okay?"
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's very easy. You got the two dots in the back, and the one dot in the front, and you want to line them up so there's 3 dots when you're looking down the sight, okay?
That's dots. And then I'll accidentally shoot one round into the tree line.
give me a ranged weapon roll to see if you hit anything.
Let's see.
Okay. Everybody hears this round go off, and there is a sudden sound as like a bird falls out of a tree. You definitely weren't aiming for that branch, but you hit something in it.
Did you see? I got a bird.
That's great. And he looks mortified because he also knows you weren't actually aiming that way, and he gets to work on trying to fix the damage to this. And he says it's going to take a little bit of time, but thankfully I know how to fix these things up. And the damage isn't too extensive. It could have been a lot worse if Sarah had crashed, but with the time he spends, it's going to take him about 2 hours with the supplies that he has, and that's with it being cut in half. He's able to open up and change out a lot of the damaged parts from where it had taken the impact from the rocket, and basically with a healthy amount of duct tape, he is able to re-seal the panel so that it holds in place. And what is everybody else doing over this time? Jerry, please give me that observation roll to keep a lookout during this. But what is everybody else doing?
Can Rosalinda try to get plant samples?
Yes, if Rosalinda is able to slip away from everyone else, I will allow it.
Assume she would be. Or should she just say, "I'm going to get some plant samples"?
Yeah. Jerry, you do see, or Gerald, you do see that Rosalinda has exited out of the hatch and is making her way towards the tree line at one point during this time frame.
No, I'm kidding.
It wasn't the aliens she needed to watch out for. How about Juniper and Sarah?
Oh man, it's I guess I'll just hang with Sarah. Yeah, we get along.
I'm going to spend a little bit at first with the cockpit door shut, decompressing to get rid of the stress that I have. Just kind of sitting there, doing breathing, calming down.
I'm like, I have a calming voice. Let me in.
Let me help you.
And then after I get calmed down a bit from almost getting blown out of the sky, I will open the door because I need to check everything inside, make sure we didn't take any more damage than what we initially thought, all of that. I also want to see what security officers got left with us, and I guess I should talk to Juniper since he's here.
Yeah.
They're going to keep yelling for me, so...
So Juniper, you exit out and you see that Juniper is sitting there waiting for you with a eager anticipation across the face of their synthetic body double. And there's also a weapons locker that was left behind that is conveniently placed on the opposite side of where they are. So you would have to go past Juniper to reach it near the hangar door. And Juniper probably knows that you have to go past them to reach it.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Top notch. Good flying. I'm proud that you were able to do that with such confidence.
Thank you. It's a bit different than evading things in space, but you get the hang of it pretty quickly.
Have you killed anyone?
Well, I just cleared out the tree line, so I'm assuming so.
How does that make you feel?
It's not ideal, but if I didn't do it, then I don't know that we would have survived this.
Necessary,
It was
right?
necessary.
Yeah. I like that word, necessary. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
I mean, unless you can get us in the air quicker, I don't think so.
No, but maybe I can assist you, and that will help us get us in the air.
You can help me check the systems.
I love that. Let's do it.
I'll bring Juniper over then to a porter console that's in the Bay Area or something. And just kind of quickly tell them how to check it, and then I'll go off and do something else as well.
Yay! I'm gonna play with it.
That's what I was worried about.
Alright. Yeah, I'll try to help out with was it context stuff?
Are you trying to help do repairs?
Yeah, what else would I be doing?
Repairing would be heavy machinery.
Oh, not that then.
Yeah, that's why
No.
Richard is out there doing it.
Yeah, whatever I can do from in here to help the dear pilot. Yeah,
you could do a comms tech roll to try and call back to the colony if you think like requesting backup or something. The only problem with that is you know that the two pilots are here.
Oh, so they went. Yeah, I don't want them to die yet. So
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna look out and see how the battle is going.
Sure. Make me an observation roll.
All right.
I was also wondering about that. I was making my way back towards the
Sure.
hatch.
Make one for me as well.
My way downtown. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Jeez, dude.
I see God.
Okay. So, with all the observations that were made, Gerald, as you're watching, you see that Rosalinda has started to head into the jungle to start looking for some plant life. Thankfully, she went in the direction that was not where the security force had gone, because that seems really dangerous.
I would tell her not to, but I'm clinging onto the plane for dear life with one hand, and I have the gun in the other, so I can't activate my comms.
Yeah. I imagine she probably stays within sight of the ship. for this initial sweep. And as Sarah and Juniper look out their viewports to kind of see how things have gone, you notice that the security force has disappeared into the deeper part of the jungle, and so they're out of sight, but you can still hear the sounds of gunfire going on within the jungle. And as the first hour passes, please give me a roll, Rosalinda, for you to gather some plants. And what I'm going to ask for is... I love the reduced skill set, but there aren't a whole lot of things that would work for this. So I'm going to say survival. Give me a survival roll for you to be able to notice some specimens for you to harvest here. And it still counts. And so as you're looking through, you end up finding a very beautiful looking flower. It is mostly blue, and it has like accents of a little bit of orange and red that kind of emanate from it along the inside, and it's spotted with these black dots, and it has I'm not familiar with the makeup of the names of plant things, but it's one of the things that has the pollen on it that extends out, and it has one of those long pollen stems, and it is covered in this greenish yellow stem that has just a lot of pollen on it. But it is rather large. It's probably bigger than your hand if you clenched it. Stymon, thank you. The stymon is this green and yellow and covered in pollen, and it's about twice the size of your fist.
Okay, I'm gonna try to collect the samples.
Okay. I'm good with your success being enough to do that. And so you're able to take out this specimen without doing any harm to its roots. You collect some of the soil that it's around and you secure it. Sarah and Juniper. Oh, sorry. You're gonna head back?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're heading back, Sarah and Juniper, the sound of the gunfire has largely died down in the second part of the second hour, as it's nearing that second hour. But you're the first to notice that there's movement in the tree line again. And it doesn't look like it's a deliberate march out, but the kind of spread out and careful movement that is staying behind trees as they're approaching this down ship.
Then yeah, I'm going for the gun.
Okay. Sarah, you see Juniper make for the mounted gun.
The ship's gun, isn't it empty?
No. No, you have a large amount of ammunition. It's perfectly.
Yeah, this is a dystopia. Ammo is cheap.
Yeah. This is Weyland-Yutani. The one thing they have an overabundance of is xenomorphs and ammunition.
If I see them making for the gun, I'll shout to them, "What do you see?" As I'm running for the locker that security forces left.
They're coming for us.
So you situate yourself on the gun there, and when you open up the locker, you see that there's a little note that's left on the interior, and it says, "Thought you might need something a little extra. Hopefully this is Sarah reading it. XOXO Isa." And there is a M42A scoped rifle. They left basically a sniper rifle here for you.
I will pocket that note and pull
What
the
is
rifle.
up with this woman giving all her guns away?
Listen,
Really
she
hope
didn't
she
get
doesn't need them.
she didn't leave her gun. She just left you a gun.
Yeah, that's what you say now, but when we look under her seat...
Yeah, her gun is.
And I'll say,
Yeah, there's
comes
under where her seat was. It was thought you might need this as well, and there's a rocket launcher. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, we do need it. If it's
XC42, you're right. It is the most romantic leaving your lover a sniper rifle.
yeah, I'll say over the comms to Richard and Gerald, since they are outside, and Rosalinda, she's outside. We might have people incoming. Should take cover if you can.
For Sarah, the sniper rifle stats are on page 120, and it's the M42A scope rifle. Ooh, armor piercing. And she left you the good toys. And so I'm going to not ask for an observation roll because of those mini successes. I'm sure you banked some to carry over and see again. But Juniper, as you are holding the gun steady and trying to figure out how it works, you see that there are, in fact, not the security force hiding behind these trees. There's probably about 4 of them that are approaching. Wayland-Yutani thanks you for your donation. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, let's unload on them.
Okay, you wanna just open fire?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and give me your
coming
ranged
onto this
combat
ship
roll.
over Sarah's dead body.
I love that the range for the M42A is extreme.
It's just extreme. Yeah. It's just listed as extreme, and when it asks what the range increments of that is, it just has this cool looking dog with a backwards hat and sunglasses doing finger guns at you. That's how you know it's extreme.
Oh crap, I'm not good at this.
No, here we go. Please don't accidentally hit anyone important.
Do you want me to roll as well?
Yeah, if you want to start firing on them.
Yeah, I didn't get any successes. I'm gonna push it. Yeah, let's push it.
Push it. Yeah, mark that stress and then roll again. And let me know.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success. All right. And since I don't think there's an actual minigun stat block, I'm just going to continue to theater of the mind the way the minigun works, because it's a fucking minigun and it should just be able to destroy anything it fires at. And so there's this moment where the minigun fires up, and Gerald and Richard here, and even Rosalinda coming back feeling quite proud of themselves with this flower in hand. Then there's the hum of the minigun firing up, and then the steady of it just shredding into the trees again. There are some surprised yells and cries of panic as they didn't expect to see that there were anybody really there. They were just getting ready to come back and capture this ship. And as people are ducking for cover, Sarah, you line your shot up, and you see that there is in fact one pirate who is kind of poking their head from a large boulder, hoping that the boulder will provide better protection than a tree. And you've lined up the shot with their head. And when you pull the trigger, you see just a satisfying red mist erupt from where their skull used to be.
Is that satisfying?
Is it satisfying for Sarah?
Because that depends on Sarah.
There's like the achievement of hit the target, but then it's also, like that unsettling feeling of it was better when I couldn't see them.
There is a new voice that comes in over your comms that say, "Peace, friends. We did not come here to fight you all. We came to negotiate. Please stop firing on us."
Why should we negotiate?
Well, when you consider that we have prisoners, and if you continue to kill my men, I will start executing them.
I'm continuing the fire till someone in command.
Please
tells
make
me
another
otherwise.
ranged combat roll. Please make another ranged combat
Juniper.
roll.
Juniper.
All right, Sarah's going to
Yeah.
intervene before Juniper can.
I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
I'm
One
yelling
success.
over the comms so that this new person can hear me as well. Trying to
Mhm.
tell Juniper stand down.
Yeah.
No, stop.
But what'd you roll the second time?
One success.
All right. And so the minigun continues, and Sarah's voice is screaming for Juniper to stop as these pirates have gone to ground, and they say, "Oh dear, it would seem that you are lacking trigger discipline." And they say, "Bring them closer." And through the scope, you see that a couple of the pirates who have been hanging back have blocked one of the security officers, who looks a little bloodied, up into view. And there's a gun pointed at the security officer's head. And they say, "If your friend does not stop, I may be forced to do something I will regret."
Has Juniper stopped or?
Has Juniper stopped?
Oh God! I guess in the chain of command, can the pilot tell me to stop?
You're technically firing their gun.
Yeah. Oh man, what's Wayland Yutani's policy on captive individuals?
I feel like if they're important enough, Wayland Yutani would negotiate for their release.
Yeah, how important are these people? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause just to figure out how important.
Sarah,
like,
give
I'm
me
going through the
an
payroll.
observation roll, Sarah.
I'm gonna make
How
them
bad
shoot
do I want to
Juniper.
make this?
Yeah, how important? Because this might just take care of some problems.
Will it though?
You're shot on the job. They do not have to pay for your stuff.
I mean, the security forces do get hazard pay, so.
Oh my God! Come on, Waylon.
Two successes for that observation. All right. As you look over the person in the scope, you are relieved to see that it is not Isa who has a gun pointed to their head, but it is another officer. It's one of the male security officers, and they do look worried. And Juniper, you know that there'll be a lot of paperwork to fill out. Gerald will have a lot of paperwork to fill out as well. There will be money allocated to the families of anyone who is killed here, acting as security force, because they do receive hazard pay. And it's usually more cost effective to keep them alive because the payouts are pretty exorbitant.
Okay, then I will stop shooting. And so I as I'm looking down the barrel of my gun aimed at the security guy, and then checking the credentials to see that yes, I probably shouldn't fire on this person because he's worth more alive than dead. I'll take a seat, knowing I have done my job well.
May I speak to the one who is in charge?
I'm gonna wait to see if Gerald says anything or if he's going to continue hiding. And if he doesn't say anything, then I will speak up.
I think I'll take a second and I'll be like, hello? Who is this? My name is Gerald Atwell.
They call me the Scourge of the Seven Stars, the sinker of the Maritani and the Westboro. I am the infamous pirate. They call me, and I just blanked on a name.
Butterscotch. Go,
Butterscotch.
Go.
They call me the infamous Dread Pirate Butterscotch. Dread Pirate Robert, yeah.
Yeah. Can't be Butterscotch. Says, wait, no, he would never.
Never.
What?
I am called the Dread Pilot Halabard.
Okay. All right, Halabard, if you could see your way clear to releasing all of our security friends, that would be excellent. And perhaps we can just forget that you fired missiles at us, which was very rude.
It was rude, wasn't it? We tend to be scoundrels in that way. But we are not here to release them. We are here to negotiate. How important are these people to you?
Well, I know several of them very well, and I consider them my personal friends, but, they are security, so this is sort of their job.
Indeed, it is their job to come out here and die. But that does not answer how much they are worth to you. We are speaking from a monetary standpoint, of course.
Can I send him the projected cost of their deaths overall?
To Gerald?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Give me a comms tech roll. See if you can send this without the pirate intercepting it, since it's on your channel.
No successes. I'm gonna push it.
You want to keep pushing? You got a lot of stress built up here.
I do. Okay. I mean, worst case, I'm on this gun, so only good things can happen.
Only good things can happen when you're stressing.
One success.
One success? No panic yet. That's impressive. All right.
All right.
You send this message to Gerald with the credit projections of how much it will cost for 5 lives. And Gerald, you're capable of doing the quick math to surmise what the value of each person would be. If it was 3 getting returned, if it was 1 getting returned, if, factoring in the marshal, who's technically not on Weyland-Yutani payroll, but is here on a different asset. So,
him dying would be way more paperwork because he's not an employee.
Mm-hmm. But then you wouldn't also have to pay. You wouldn't have to pay out as much, but you would have to explain what happened to him.
And that's the real bad PR. That's
time is money too. Yeah. So you're able to get a quick surmise of how valuable everybody is and if it's worth sacrificing.
Well, that's how much they would cost dead. So, around there. But my father always said to never negotiate with terrorists, which I guess is what you are now. I never really.
No, sir. We are pirates. Nothing so degenerate. No, if we were terrorists, we would have sabotaged your supply lines or shut off your power or poisoned your water. I feel that you have more problems than that now.
Yes, so well, I've told you how much they're worth dead, so give me an. What would you like? Is it money? Can't imagine there's many Wayland-Yutani stores that would accept your payments. Being pirates and all. You know, you could all just leave it behind and get an actual job.
You think so, huh? It is quite profitable being a pirate, especially when stealing from Wayland-Yutani. I tell you what,
they do that in such a good company.
I tell you what, we have 3 here and a fancy-looking lawman who is still alive. We can make arrangements for you to bring us payment, and we can return them to you tomorrow. I trust that Rust Bucket can still fly, yes?
Well, it's in the midst of being repaired, but, perhaps there's a more expedient way to do this. If any of you pirates would want to kill that man in charge and bring them all back, I will pay you X amount of money.
Oh my, please give me a manipulate roll.
Where's my manipulate? I do have it. There we go.
Yeah, Gerald showing his darker Wayland-Yutani side.
I know. I'm like,
A success.
Is it hot in here or what?
So chat decided you all have hindrances, and I don't want to use it yet. I want to save that for. So just so chat doesn't think that I'm denying them their blood, but I feel like I could save this for something else. And there's a moment of silence, and you hear Dread Pilot Halivard say, "If I see so much as one of you start to lift and then there's a gunshot that goes off, and everything is silent for a moment. And on the comms, there's hey, this is First Crewman Stafford.
Oh, Stafford.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to become very good friends. Thank you so much for agreeing to my terms. That's very kind of you. So, just release them all and send me, an invoice, whatever you're doing. How would you like this money delivered?
You receive the invoice first, and he says,
immediately
"Go ahead and play. You go ahead and." Oh, I was gonna say he says half first, but you.
Nope, I immediately pay the whole thing. I'm so happy. Like,
yeah,
this is how we do it.
There's another moment when they consider and they say, "Don't let it be said that Dread Pirate Stafford isn't a man of his word. Send them out."
Same for me, Gerald Adwell is someone who pays their bills. That's not their taxes, but their bills, yes.
Yeah, and so shortly after, you see that the 3 surviving security officers in Brave Star, all looking a little roughed up, start to filter out of the jungle. Their weapons, of course, were not given back to them, but they are unarmed.
I'm so glad you're all right. And I'll like, if they appear unharmed, I'll go hug them.
They don't appear. They appear mostly unharmed. Like, of course, they got roughed up from being captured or being in the fight. But,
do we get money back?
Nobody has any life-threatening injuries. No. And in fact, Gerald just paid out an exorbitant amount of money to get them.
We didn't get him in pristine condition. This is like getting a toy out of the wrapper.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't really paying for them. I was just paying to get that pirate dead. That's the goal. This is just a bonus.
That's true.
My man.
And yeah, so looking through the scope, you're able to finally zero in and see that Isa is among those that made it back. And so as Gerald approaches, Bravestar looks at him and he says, "I had not expected you all to still be here, but considering that rough landing we had, I am grateful that you stuck around."
Yes, well, the plane will be repaired momentarily, and you can take it easy in the back for now. I'm sure you all did a wonderful job fighting the pirates, and you can't win them all.
Yes, they were far more prepared for us than I had hoped. It would seem that somebody might have alerted them to our approach.
That's awful. Who would do something like that?
I am not sure, but there could be. It is all speculation, of course.
Well, I'm glad we still have you around to do the investigating there, Marshal.
I am still glad. I am glad to still be around as well.
Yes, and I'll have a little moment with each of the security people to thank them for their service and say that I'm glad they're still alive. And then I pile them back into the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they all come back in, and they're a little silent as they find their seats, and one of them starts patching up anybody who needs some first aid, but they do seem more or less good, despite being a little shaken up.
Yeah, Sarah had been keeping it professional up until this point, as far as Isa, but as soon as Isa comes in and sits down, she's gonna quickly move over there and squat down in front of her for a moment and just look up at her and, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. She actually has a busted lip and a black eye. It looks like they had roughed her up pretty good, despite things, but she's remaining tough, and she says, so I see you got that present I left you.
Yeah, it was quite useful. I can't use it while flying, though, so you hang on to it for now.
And she says, sure, I got it. I guess we're lucky they shot down the VTOL, huh?
Yeah, and damage wasn't too bad. I kept the landing soft enough. It'll be a rough ride out of here, but we should be able to make it.
Yeah. When Richard kind of walks past you and he says, yeah, we were holding it all together with duct tape and bubble gum, so it's up to Sarah to make sure we don't crash again.
I put my hand on her knee and squeeze it for a moment, and he's only half kidding. And I'll get up and make my way to the cockpit.
Yeah. And so the ship lifts off once more, and with the coordinates for the science facility, it's time to return Rosalinda, who, by the way, Rosalinda, how are you holding up? You found your flower, but you really had kind of kept to yourself while all this was happening. What's going on? What's going on in the mind of Rosalinda?
I think she just hid or got back on the ship. That's probably
definitely back on the ship, and everybody sees that. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's that she just went.
Everybody sees that. Everybody sees now that Rosalinda is sitting in her seat, and now she has a new potted friend. It's a very beautiful looking flower, blue, orange, and red, and quite large of a specimen, but not a fern this time. It's a very beautiful and exotic looking flower.
Destroy it.
People were dying while you were out looking for that thing. You could have lent a hand.
Well, I just had my gear to get the flower. I couldn't have shot anybody. I couldn't have negotiated.
So perhaps you could have helped fix the ship. Poor Richard was up there all alone.
That's not my specialty.
You are a scientist, right? That means you're clever. You could have figured it all out.
All right. I won't do it. I won't not do it again.
I mean, it is a beautiful plant, though. What is it?
I'm not certain. I'm going to take it into the lab.
You do have a chance to name it. A new discovery.
Sarah McLaughlin.
um, I. What should I name this flower? I'll have to think, what should I name the
Maybe
flower?
after you. It'll be your mark on this world.
Why not? The Rosalinda flower.
A Rosalinda. All right. And there's a quick ping in the Wayland-Yutani logs that the Rosalinda has been discovered, and there's a picture of this flower. It states that its properties, its genus, and all of that are undocumented, but it's been cataloged, and a location to find it has been marked. And there's also an asterisk that says, "Watch out for pirates."
What? What pirates?
Oh, pirates, yeah. I mean, they're still there. The pirate problem hasn't been dealt with, but at least Gerald negotiated some amicable terms
can we nuke
them for
them?
now. You can in fact nuke the pirates.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in my professional opinion, they should be nuked.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we should
you
demonstrate that we have the superior missiles, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just it's not too far from the colony, so there's no real risk of lasting damage if you nuked this area. But no, he wired that money over.
Wire it back.
But Sarah, please give me a piloting roll, and I'm gonna say no. Richard did a great job. You don't need to have a penalty for flying, not unless you're doing something stressful. But for now, you can fly the
barrel
VTOL.
roll.
Yeah, you can fly the VTOL back to the science facility with no real issue.
Okay.
I say no real issue, but then roll 20 is like hold the phone. But you are able to push
like,
with no
what?
stress.
Don't
Roll 20, like I heard you talking shit.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly. It's like what's that about not crashing the ship again?
Mhm.
So the flight to the science facility is easy, and there are no rockets fired from the jungle at you at this point. As you are making your way to the science facility, Gerald, your comms go off again, your personal communicator this time, and you see that a message has arrived for you, and the sender is marked as unknown on its like little personal ID, but you see that as you're reading it, it's the new Dread Pirate Stafford who says, "It was a pleasure doing business with you. Perhaps we can work out future arrangements for the good of your colony."
Yes, that would be lovely. Let's just, get along, whatever you need. You've proven yourself to be an amicable fellow who's open to negotiation. I'm sure we can come to some sort of mutually beneficial understanding.
And another message arrives, and it says, "We have off-market supplies that we can supply to you should Wayland-Yutani not be able to deliver them in a prompt manner." And they end up sending you a list of black market items that were currently on the ship, and they say, "We can have them to you as quickly as tomorrow if you want to make another hasty purchase."
Oh, wonderful. How scandalous. I've always loved the black market. Let me take a quick inventory of what we still have, and then I'll get back to you.
They say, "Of course, a pleasure doing business with you."
And you.
And it's
See,
not
it's already
long
starting to feel like
but-
home. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Nothing like one of the head execs doing under the table deals. It's fine. Juniper, do you check on anybody while flying?
Yeah, Rosa and this gorgeous flower that she has.
Yeah. What do you say to them?
It's beautiful, Rosa.
Thank you.
I call you Rosa.
Oh, Rosalinda. I knew.
Rosalinda. Sorry,
Yeah,
I hear sometimes shortening the name will yield more of an affectionate response for some people, but that's not the case for you.
you want an affectionate response?
I wouldn't mind one.
She's just going to like smile, like a brief kind of corners of her lips up smile.
So what about this particular flower made you pick it?
Because I hadn't picked it before.
There.
Something new. Counts as work.
Yeah. What do you are you gonna get right to it? I'm trying to figure out how to speak with you in an engaging way that also piques your interest. And I feel like I'm failing at it.
Yeah, you are.
Should I stop or just keep floundering?
Can I give you an assignment?
Sure.
Be kind. For one day.
Be kind for one day, even if it hurts our even if it hurts the company.
You can run the risk analysis yourself within reason.
All right, I will be kind. Should this start now or later? Should we in the morning?
No, it'll start when we have our session in the morning.
Okay. All right then. I look forward to trying out this this out. Okay. Huh?
Bye.
Okay, yeah. Okay, bye. Just scoot back over.
I love how the script just got flipped on Juniper for this day. Just like, what is going on today?
Oh no. I don't know what just happened. But yeah, that's it for him.
That's it for him. All right. Yeah, feeling a little good about having set things, turned things around and coming out on top for once, Rosalinda. You guys finally see that the science facility has come into view, and the ship is brought in for a gentle landing in the same landing area that was designated for ships coming in. And you know the routine when you disembark. Most of the interior security personnel stay behind to keep an eye on the VTOL. Richard stays behind, but anybody who wants to escort Rosalinda back into the facility is able to do so.
I will do so. I will practice this nice thing. Practice.
Juniper,
I think I'm going to stay with the VTOL.
Okay. Jerry, how about you?
Stretch my legs and use the facilities there, but other than that, I think I'm also going to then go back to the ship.
Okay. Yeah, so the three of you disembark and you head into the facility. Once you're there, security, of course, has you deposit any weapons. So, Jerry, did you leave your gun behind, or is it on you?
I don't have any. Oh wait, I do have a gun, and I'll just whip it out and like, there we go. I acquired it.
they both just like arms up for a second when they watch you fling this gun around, and then when you hand it back or hand it to them, they give you a look and they store it away in the security locker.
I actually fired this at pirates today. You know, actual real pirates in the jungle. Yeah, shot by a gun. I hit a bird, but I found that money was the more powerful weapon. So, you know, powerful lesson for you there, lads.
They're like, you don't say, and they quickly store the gun away out of your reach.
No, play with it more.
Yeah, and there's a chance to step in and get decontaminated before you step out on the other side of the facility, and Vanderstoop is there to greet you all once you've arrived, and they say, "Oh, it's good to see you're back again. Welcome to the science facility. I know you were only here yesterday, but we've really had a chance to turn things around since then. Boy, howdy, I wasn't expecting a whole murder."
I have a sample for you.
There's been a few more, but in the jungle with pirates.
Oh, well, killing pirates isn't murder. Especially if
not
they were
them.
trying
I
to
don't
kill
care
you
about
first.
them. Some of our brave security officers were slain.
Slain in the line of duty, though, that's, I don't know why she suddenly had a Minnesota accent.
You went somewhere, yeah, whoa.
Went somewhere deep with that. It's supposed to be Dutch, and she went Minnesota. She says, oh, wow, that's really sad to hear that he died in the line of duty, and I'm sure that, Gerald, you're going to do the right thing for their families and make sure that they are honored as heroes.
It makes more sense to pay the ones who survive. They did the best job. But, yeah, you're right.
Gerald has gone a dark path today.
No, I'm loving it. Gerald woke up and had black coffee. Just black all over coffee. No
murder
sugar.
is okay. Maybe too dark.
Love it. Been all my life.
Yeah, and so there's a moment where she kind of thinks about that, and she says, "Well, they should be getting a good payout too, but yeah, the families should be taken care of." And she says, "So are you just dropping off, or did you need to look around for anything in particular?"
I think we're mostly just here to drop them off. They're going to... I don't know if their mission is actually still on, to be fair. They were sent to deal with the pirates, and we've had that done now. You know, obviously we're here to bring back lovely Rosalinda there. She found a plant in the jungle, you know, did a little bit of botany while all the gunfire was going on.
The best science work is done under pressure. Well done, Rosalinda.
You know, that's a good way to look at it. I take back my earlier reprimand.
Thank you. And I'm like proud of my flower. I'm like holding it up. Like, yeah, this is I discovered this. I need to study it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be like 5 ways to make money off that thing. You know, maybe it's edible. Maybe, you know, it could be used for drugs. Maybe it's a good perfume thing. Does it smell nice?
Why don't you smell it and see? And I'll like push the flower.
Would you like to smell it, Gerald?
Don't do it.
Would you like to smell
it's really
this
no way,
unknown
like,
planet or plant?
I should, because it's stupid. There's no reason for me not to smell the thing, so...
What? There is plenty of reasons. But yes,
there's plenty of reasons I have why he shouldn't smell the flower, but Gerald doesn't know. I'll take a cautious whiff.
Like, okay. Yeah, so this otherwise undocumented flower, Gerald has now taken a whiff of its heavy pollen, and I'm gonna need a roll from you, please.
He like cuts a line of it and snorts it.
What do you want?
Give me a stamina roll.
Are the scientists like really taking data on this?
Oh yeah, Vanderstoop is watching very eagerly.
Push it to the limit.
Yeah, push it.
There we go.
All right. You lean in and you smell it, and this Steinman's pollen gets in your nose, and oh shit, allergies. It kicks in, and you try and hold it, and then you sneeze, and as you sneeze, the pollen scatters in this bright yellow cloud, and now everybody else needs to make a stamina roll.
This is why we do that stuff. This is content.
I mean, it's aliens. It wouldn't be an alien show if somebody didn't stick their face into an unknown entity. I hear my girlfriend furiously typing her rage. Rosie, would you like to push?
Yes, I like to push.
All right. So you just mark a stress and roll again. All right. And what did Juniper get? Itch.
Oh, sorry. I'm probably just gonna freak out.
Mm-hmm. And you do have a bunch of stress at this point.
I did freak out.
You did freak out. All right, give me a panic roll.
Freak out. Boop, 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 boop.
You go into a murderous rage.
7.
Just everybody. I don't think we've gotten past a 9 yet. I want to see some of these. I want to see some of these heavy rolls. I want a berserk or a catatonic. You guys got to start pushing more. Nervous twitch. So everybody else is going to increase their stress by 1. As first of all, this synth shouldn't sneeze, but it does. And I think the act of the synth sneezing is what's really unnerving for everyone, as it mimics this human reaction, and it's so unnatural. And this milky white substance leaks out of one of the nostrils, and the synth just kind of wipes it away and gives just a Juniper smile.
Yeah, I'll lick it.
And I'll take out a handkerchief. Don't move. And I'll just wipe his snoot.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I'll just, of course, stick that in a garbage bin on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just sneeze white goop all over your face.
Sorry, what'd you say?
We need data, and we need a sample of the group.
What do you need a sample
samples? Of? We need samples of your mucus now. Yeah. Now that everybody has had a reaction. Oh no, we have swaps, and Vanderstoop more than eagerly rushes over to a table and takes out a. I'm sure everyone is aware of it now because of pandemic testing. It's one of those swabs that goes just deep and is the brain flossing kind. And so they're just like, just tilt your head back. We're going to just collect a quick sample.
Get that plant away from me first. Otherwise, we'll be sneezing all day.
Laugh, love, Lindy. What up?
Lindy, hello, Lindy. Thank you for the raid. Woo.
I'm gonna get pollen samples off of everyone that I can get them off of.
Yeah, so you start collecting these samples. Let's see. I think you need a roll for that too. I want to see how many brains you poke. Yeah, give me 3 medical aid rolls, one for each.
Straight up kills one person.
Stabs right into Gerald's brain and he goes down.
You need that, don't you?
I do.
You know what? I'll only take 1 medical aid because I see you don't have any. You're not that kind of doctor, so.
No, I don't think he has that experience. I'm sorry, just taking me a second to roll.
Do you want me to roll it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. Whoop. Ah, there it is. Okay. I'll roll your panic as well. Because you just hit a panic.
What's the
roll.
panic about? There's nothing to
What's
panic
the
about.
panic?
What you talking about?
There's nothing to panic about. She's currently
I'm not
swabbing
panicking, you're
this-
panicking.
She's currently swabbing this synthetic and wondering why she even needs to be going into its nose and why it even has an olfactory receptacle in its nostril. She rolls a 4, which means she keeps it together. And so you're barely holding it together as its lifeless eyes stare at you as you're swabbing into its nostril. And as you collect these various samples, you now have some plant samples, some snot samples, and some general samples of everybody's stuff. And Vanderstoop finally says, "Thank you very, very much, Rosalinda. You may return to your facility and get your things situated. We have new assignments, wonderful new assignments to be done. Since these samples were not returned to me yesterday, we have to continue some work on a new project."
Sure, unless you need me to go back out again, or back to the
She thinks for a moment. Give me a manipulation roll. See if you can talk your way into going back. You might have use on the colony side of things.
She just wants all our cannabis.
Mm-hmm. She wants to study your weed.
Well, that's another panic.
Oh, fun! Yeah, go ahead and hit that panic roll again. Oh man, if only it were something truly terrifying.
Hashtag winning.
7. Everybody else in the area increases their stress by 1. So Gerald and Juniper will increase their stress by 1 as Rosalinda starts stammering their explanation on why they would be more useful back at the colony than here in the lab. And there's a moment where Vanderstoop considers, and when she sees how much of a mess Rosalinda's becoming, she says, all right, why don't you go back to the colony and give us a detailed report on the flora that has been getting developed there in the gardens, and that'll give you a couple of days to recollect yourself, and when you're ready to come back and work on the project, you can."
Yes, but I
All right, yeah,
fear
I'll
I
do that.
must insist that this thing stay here. I don't want to spend the
Oh,
entire
yes,
flight back
absolutely.
sneezing all over the cockpit. Okay.
Yes. I can have somebody study this and catalog its properties unless Rosalinda wishes to do so when she returns. But you should go back to your lab and situate it there, and then I'll have them wait for you.
She's gonna rush off to her lab with the plant and set it up in there and get her
Vanderstoop watches and waits as Rosalinda heads off, and when she sees that she is out of the way, she looks to Juniper and Gerald and she says, I have something very important I need to show both of you. Your clearance is high enough, Juniper, that you are allowed to be brought in on what is going on here at the science facility.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
It's really unsightly. I've had enough adventure for one day. You're not going to show me any dead bodies, are you?
She says, unfortunately, Gerald, science doesn't have the luxury of pleasantries. And she starts to walk the two of you towards the main science facility, the top secret closed off one that the chief scientist had worked out of before his grisly murder, before his chief scientist Svensson had been grisly murdered. And as we are coming to allegedly murdered. As we are nearing the end of the episode, it ends with the three of you approaching this top secret door and her inserting a key card, and it turns an ominous green, and it does one of those pressurized shh as it opens up and starts to walk through, and she says, and I should remind you both that what you see on the other side of this facility is classified and remains between us. And as you walk in, that's where we fade to black for the episode.
Oh yeah, we're fading to black with these three?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The party's scattered. Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to this. Nothing but
it's all good.
Amazing. Yay. Right.
Gotta deepen that mystery.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing but good stuff. Listen, at least nothing was in the vents to get any of you yet.
Oh,
here.
Yeah, I was
on the other colony,
here.
though.
Time will tell. But thank you everybody for watching today. We hit pretty good viewer numbers, and we didn't reach our retweet goal, but we did get that wonderful donation, and I have that banked away for when things really start to get bad for us, which probably is going to be next episode. Just an FYI for the audience. Next week we are off because I am on vacation, and so I will be out of town for the entirety of next week. So I won't be doing any streaming of any kind during that time. Although that's not true. I will be recording something for Weave the Tale on Sunday or one of these days. I have something I need to record for Weave, which will be shown later. But that's really the only thing I'm allocating some time for while I'm on vacation. But that's me. So why don't we go back around the virtual table, and everybody has a chance to do their outros. We'll go counterclockwise again, and then we will close it out. Oh, and stick around because we will be rating TPK Roleplay. Awesome name.
Oh yeah.
TPK.
It resonates personally with me as Partywipegames, just TPK roleplay. I love it.
Yeah.
Anything that implies the party will die grisly deaths. It just.
I thought you were wiping away our tears, or just.
I do that too. If you've seen some of our older games, there have been plenty of tears from my players in very emotional scenes. Anyways, I'll stop taking up the time, and let's go ahead and give everyone a chance to say who they are and where you can find them next. Sarah. Yep. Listen.
Oh, starting with me, yes. So I'm Anna, aka ArchivalDustBun, most places on the internet. Queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. You can find me on Twitter at ArchivalDustBun if any of that sounds interesting. Speaking of TPK Roleplay, I was just in 2 games over there. You can find the VOD on their YouTube and Twitch channels. You should check that out. But when I'm not here, Tuesday nights, you can find me over on Black Feather Guild at 8:30 or at 8 p.m. Eastern playing Dragon Age. It's a 2-party campaign on Tuesdays and Fridays that will hopefully eventually come together. We'll see how it goes. I play a very personal rogue who is a crow, just out looking for her sister and doing casual murder.
Murder.
Yes. Sundays, you can find me either at go_hawking at 1:30 p.m. Eastern playing Shifting Echoes, which is our D&D 5th edition campaign in a world of 1930s technology. Really great cast of characters and players over there for that. It's a really fun game. I'm playing a noblewoman who is on the run after she was deposed in a coup. Or you can find me at 8 p.m. Eastern on Guild of the Phoenix playing Cyberpunk Red. I play a medtech who is very overworked and desperately trying to keep a party alive with the Death Wish. Podcasts are more your thing. You can find me a response team, Omnicron, a Lancer actual play podcast playing through the No Room for a Wallflower campaign setting. Our first episode drops in 3 weeks. We have a couple episodes recorded. It's a really great cast, and the episodes are a lot of fun, so definitely check that out. And just announced Heroes of New Halcyon, a City of Mist actual play podcast following teenage superheroes who have grown up, moved away, and are not coming back to a city they do not recognize. We just got the character trailers recorded for that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Best place to find where and when I'm streaming is on Twitter, so give me a follow there.
Alrighty, right on down to PH.
Hi everybody, I'm PaladinHulk. Next you can find me is a couple hours from now over on PaladinScripted's channel, where I play Domrain, and he gets to ride Noble Fighter, where something bad is going to happen, but we're not sure what it is, so tune in for that. Then Fridays over on the Black Feather Guild, I also am in the Dragon Age game, but the other one, where I play Jade, your humble servant of the world's very best butler, as we once again find ourselves in the Illuvian network, where I desperately don't want to be, but my party is all bleeding hearts, and I would rather just go home and collect my earnings. Then Sundays over on Uncanny Adventures, I play Holt, the pirate paladin who tries to make friends with all the evil pirates, and just got our captain back. He is safe and sound, got our ship back in the water. So we're off, collected a few new crew members, which are just more friends to make, and the people who didn't want to be my friend got left behind. Off for new adventures. And that's me.
Alrighty, on over to Mitch.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mitch. You can find me at Mitchsbustillos. Other than that, you can check out my Kickstarter going on right now, Chew, based on the New York best-selling comic book of the same name. And I'll be at PAX Unplugged, so make sure to say hi.
And last but never least, up to Janie Potts.
I Janie Potts 7575 on Twitter. Tomorrow I am in the Dragon Age game where I play a beginning mage that's on her first adventure. And just follow me on Twitter. I'll try to remember to update with what I have next. Janie Potts 7575.
All right. Well, that's us, and that's everyone. And once again, we are going to head over to TPK for a raid. So everybody be sure to say hello to them and give them the love, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Or, please watch the other shows here on Weave the Tale. Give them some love. But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
us. Good night. I should give credit to them, too. Yeah, they do great stuff. Especially that Chew game. That Chew game rocks.
Oh, yeah.